Hey, come inside, mate. Good to see you. I actually don't know if this is a shoes on or shoes off house. Oh, I don't know what to do. Please help me out. And just what should he do? He is right to feel anxious. I'm Threads from Me Says, and today we shall get to the bottom of this one question. Shoes on or shoes off? We shall end this conundrum today! And if things like this interest you, then please subscribe and learn all about the strange quirks and nonsense that is Australia. You remember Mr. Rogers? Heard of him, but don't think that show was ever on Australian TV. Mr. Rogers, the world's nicest guy. Oh, that's right, there was that Tom Cruise film. Tom Hanks, you idiot. Whatever. Yeah, well, they're both great actors. So Mr. Rogers was the epitome of culture. He finished his day at work, walked into the house at the start of every episode, took off his work shoes, put on his house shoes, which happened to be runners. In Australia, probably don't see too many people wearing runners inside the house as a household shoe. Probably more likely to see slippers, the world's greatest shoe, the Ugg boot, socks, and bare feet. Honestly, when I was growing up, I don't even remember if I took shoes on or off. I was usually playing outside and just probably went straight inside and messed up the floor or the carpets. Poor mum was probably having a heart attack every time, but I don't ever remember us as a family saying, we will leave our shoes at the door. Change your shoes. Just never really was a thing. But it was probably more in my teenage years when you hang out at your friend's house and you start to notice some houses are shoes off and some are shoes on. And then you grow up, you move out of home, and then you have your own home. Then you start having guests around and you start going over to their houses for dinner. That's when it becomes a little bit tricky. You don't quite know whether it's a shoes on or shoes off house until you walk in the door. Sometimes you have to look very closely to see which way they go. But if you're really not sure, the best place to start is with yourself. In your house, do you like to have shoes off or shoes on? If you feel comfortable with shoes on, then you're naturally probably just going to walk around your friend's house with your shoes on. If they come to your house, you're not going to mind if they have their shoes on. And if you're a shoes off person, well, it's very likely that you will feel more comfortable taking your shoes off when visiting a friend, or when they visit you, you probably would prefer it if they had their shoes off as well. But I think the crux of this really comes down to when you are the visitor to someone else's house. This is where the culture really kicks in. So, what are some of those strategies for you to work out whether this house is a shoes on or a shoes off house? What to do, please help me out. Here are 9 strategies to help you determine if it's a shoes on or shoes off house. Strategy 1. Think ahead. What's the occasion? An outdoor or indoor occasion? You could spend more time outside than inside, or you could spend more time inside than outside. Strategy number 2. How long is your visit? Is it less than an hour? Is it just a cup of coffee? Is it a long visit, a barbecue, an occasion, an extended visit of some sort? All this determines whether you remove your shoes or not. Strategy number 3, know the statistics. So there's not a lot of statistics on the internet, but a quick search, I found one survey which was done in March 2021 by Australia Talks National Survey. I think they're an internet survey based company. But They have found that of the amount of people they surveyed, 74% of them prefer shoes off. So put that in your mind when you're visiting someone's house. 3 in every 4 people prefer shoes off. That's pretty good odds. That means you're pretty safe to take your shoes off. No one's probably going to bat an eyelid at it. So go for it. Strategy number 4. Think in your mind before knocking on the door that you'll be ready at some point to remove your shoes. It won't be embarrassing. Just quietly go back to the front door and remove your shoes. Strategy number 5. Observe a few things upon entering. Do they have shoes littered outside the front door? Or is there perhaps a shoe rack full of shoes near the doorway? Strategy number 6. Observe. Are your hosts wearing shoes inside? If they are, it probably doesn't matter if you have your shoes on or off. If they are not wearing shoes, then safe bet, they probably prefer shoes off. Strategy number 7. Have a good look at the floor. Is it clean? Tidy? Are they clean and tidy? Very sure that they want to keep their floor clean and tidy. I would also say the number one reason people will like shoes off is because they don't want to bring extra dirt and germs into the house. Clean floors. Strategy number 8. Use your memory. Have they been to your house? If so, did they remove their shoes when they entered your domain? Strategy number 9. If all else fails, if you've crossed the threshold, if you're well within inside their house, just pause for a minute and ask, do you prefer shoes off in the house? And I'm sure that they will let you know what they prefer. So that was 9 strategies on deciding whether to remove your shoes when you're visiting someone's house. But when you think about it, there are so many more reasons why we in Australia tend to like having shoes off in the house. Obviously, you don't want to bring dirt in the house. Who wants to clean more than they need to? And it feels really nice on a very hot summer's day, and Australia gets a lot of hot summer days, to walk around on a clean floor with bare feet. There's nothing much nicer than that. But when it comes down to it, it's up to the person who owns the house. And it's the person who owns the house is the main decider on whether you have shoes on or shoes off. The very best thing that you can hope for is that they will let you know soon as you enter the house, oh, we prefer to have shoes off. And if you can do that as a host for anyone entering your house, then I reckon that's the best way to go. So, Mr. Rogers, setting a great example. Don't think we'll ever get around to wearing sneakers or runners in the house like he did, but the idea of changing footwear inside the house, there's nothing wrong with that too. Anyway, let's get back and see how our friends are getting on at the start of the episode. Hey, come inside, mate. Good to see you. Oh, hey, no, shoes off at the door, please. That's all right. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you got something out of it. Certainly something to think about when you're visiting someone's house in Australia or they're visiting yours. The 9 strategies, I hope they work for you. If you can think of anything else, or you had any stories or experiences, then please share them in the comments. Other people will read them and share their stories too. You won't feel so weird or alone if you ever feel that way when you're visiting someone's house. And in the meantime, I hope to make more videos. If you've got any ideas for any other videos, I'd love to hear them. I'll read your comments. And in the meantime, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and I look forward to producing more videos for you. I'm Threads, this is E Says. Have a good one. Leave your shoes at the door. Leave your pride outside. And walk with your bare feet on the floor. And you will be alright. There you go. I think that sounded good.